Hey guys, it's your wingman Sky, and if you haven't played Battlefront in a while, get on and try out the new map, Survivors of Endor. I think it looks amazing, and it works really well in all the game modes. It's a close quarters map, and the action gets pretty intense around the objectives. Speaking of objectives, today I wanted to touch on a topic that seems to get everyone riled up, and that's kill-death ratio and playing the objective. A lot of people will tell you that pushing the objective lowers your kill-death ratio, and I agree with that to a point. Sitting in the back of the map and scoring a kill every time your pulse cannon comes off cooldown does inflate your kill-death ratio, and doesn't help your team push the objectives. The real key is to be able to strategically push objectives while keeping a high kill-death ratio. I'll let you in on something that I think I do a little differently, and it lets me be successful despite my rather pedestrian skills on the sticks. An understanding of what to do while playing on the front lines is the biggest secret to being successful in tactical shooters. Look at the minimap and notice where your teammates are situated. You'll often be able to draw a line there, and the empty space beyond it is enemy controlled territory. Here I'm pushing an uplink that the enemy team controls. You have to post here and push the enemy front lines back tactically. My teammates prematurely rush in and deactivate the uplink for the rebels to immediately kill them and reactivate it. It's great if they stopped it just as the Y-wing was about to be called in, but having bodies on the front lines and thinning out the bodies on the enemy front lines is the most important thing. If you die, you're just another body that got pushed off the front lines. If you post up and stay there long enough and slowly whittle down the enemy front lines, your team will naturally start to push up. Winning and losing objectives essentially comes down to which team has the most bodies on it. Running in guns blazing with the odds against you never turns out good. This goes right into my second key to winning objective game modes, and that's having a tactical retreat. This goes a bit counter to what people think about when they think of playing the objective. Being able to tactically retreat is vital to pushing objectives. It's playing defensively and counter to what people think of when pushing objectives, but it goes back to the concept of getting and keeping bodies on the front lines. Sometimes you're just going to end up in a bad situation and have to cut your losses. Just ask yourself, do you want to be within jetpack reach of the front lines, or do you want to have to walk all the way back from the spawn? The third key to being successful in objective-based game modes and keeping a high kill-death ratio is to run a loadout that suits the map and game mode. Obviously there's some catering to your playstyle, but certain loadouts just don't work that well on certain maps. For example, DH-17 users really don't give me any problems on Endor, but they seem to wreck me on certain maps in close quarters game modes like Blast. I also always run an ion grenade or ion torpedo when playing as the rebels. Obviously, it limits you against infantry, but you have to be able to deal with the Imperial vehicles. And I really think bodyguard is the way to go on these big objective game modes. You're often facing multiple opponents out in the open, and the explosive spam is real. Also, on these big objective game modes, I often don't run the most ideal CQB loadouts. So running bodyguard can help me win gunfights against people that are running more ideal CQB loadouts, like explosive shot and the SC-14C. And my final key for being successful in objective game modes and keeping a high kill-death ratio is the monkey in the room, gun-on-gun skills. I could probably make a whole video just on this topic alone. I'll be the first to tell you that my aim is good but not great, and it's the last thing I rely on to do well. I'd say try to get comfortable with a competitive gun like the E11 you see me use here. Go study the stats on Synthetic.com and tailor your play to it. The E11 is a high damage, low rate of fire, low recoil gun that has strong bloom. You don't really have to control for recoil, but you have to tap fire a bit, even at medium range. A lot of times, I'll just try and land the first shot, wait a bit, and then go full auto for the rest of the shots. I do think that it's important to get used to and play on a higher sensitivity than the default. I run 50% sensitivity. It helps me get on target in CQB, and I just allow the aim assist and tap firing to assist me at range. Another thing that helps me win gunfights is that I run bodyguard a lot. In big objective game modes, you're next to a bunch of teammates that are probably not running scout, sprinting and shooting their blasters all over the place, and you're clearly standing near an objective, so everyone knows where you are. The added survivability of running bodyguard is really nice. Well guys, that about wraps it up. The first DLC pack, Outer Rim, comes out next week. I'm so excited to jump on it that I took a day off from work for it. Hopefully I'll see you guys online. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.